You're replaceable, Mark. Don't ever forget that. Those words didn't come out loud or angry. They came out quiet, measured, like she'd been rehearsing them. And somehow, that calmness cut deeper than any scream could. There was no tremor in her voice, no flicker in her eyes. That's how I knew she meant it. The woman I'd married 6 years ago, the one who once looked at me like I was her whole world, was gone. In her place stood a stranger who couldn't even pretend to care. It hadn't happened overnight. It never does. It started as little things. Late-night texts, hushed calls, vague excuses about extra shifts, or girls' nights. I didn't want to be that guy, the jealous husband who second-guesses every minute she's away. But when you've truly loved someone, your instincts whisper when something's off. Mine were screaming. One night she came home smelling faintly of cologne I didn't recognize. New perfume? I asked. You're imagining things? She said without looking up from her phone. I laughed it off, but deep down, something cracked. The distance between us grew. Not in miles, but in cold silence. The woman who used to text me just to say she missed me now couldn't even meet my eyes. Every conversation felt like walking through a minefield. Her phone, once left on the counter, suddenly had a passcode. She guarded it like it held state secrets. Just privacy, she said. But privacy isn't the same as secrecy. Then came the weekend visits to her mom's. Except her mom lived 20 minutes away. And one night she came home past midnight, hair messy, lipstick faded. You okay? I asked. She hesitated, then forced a smile. Just tired. I wanted to believe her. God, I needed to. But the truth has claws. It doesn't stay buried for long. A few mornings later, I forgot my laptop and came back home early. Her voice drifted from the kitchen, soft, playful, a tone I hadn't heard in months. I'll see you tonight, she giggled. He thinks I'm working late again. My stomach dropped. When I stepped into the room, she froze, color draining from her face. Who were you talking to? I asked. Nobody. A coworker. Don't lie to me. She opened her mouth, searching for a story, but nothing came out. Finally, she said, You're being paranoid again. It's exhausting. I stared at her. I just heard you tell another man you'd see him tonight. So what if I did? She snapped. I'm tired of pretending everything's fine. Her words hit harder than a confession. The silence that followed said everything she didn't. That night, she slept in the guest room. I didn't sleep at all. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of everything collapsing. By morning, I'd made up my mind. I needed the truth once and for all. She sat at the kitchen table, scrolling on her phone, calm as ever. Do you love him? I asked. She looked up, half smiling. Does it matter? It matters to me, I said. She sighed, like I was an inconvenience. People change, Mark. You're safe. But safe isn't exciting. I got bored. It felt like something inside me shattered. Every memory, our wedding day, late-night drives, her head resting on my chest, flashed through my mind like a cruel movie. So that's it? I asked. 6 years and I'm just boring now? She shrugged. I guess so. That cold indifference hurt more than any betrayal ever could. And then she said it. Those 6 words that would end everything. You're replaceable, Mark. Never forget that. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I just stood there, hollow. Because when the person you love tells you you're replaceable, you stop fighting for them. You start fighting for your self-respect. I walked to the bedroom, grabbed her suitcase, and began packing her things. She followed, anger flaring. What the hell are you doing? Helping you move out. You can't be serious. Dead serious? Mark, you're being ridiculous. We can talk later. No, I said calmly. You don't get to cheat, humiliate me, and decide when we talk. You made your choice. She folded her arms. You really think you'll find someone better than me? I met her eyes. I don't need someone better. I just need someone honest. She waited for me to break down, to beg. I didn't. I carried her suitcase to the door and set it down. You have an hour, her voice cracked. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said. But I'll regret it with my dignity intact. Her eyes glistened. Anger, shock, maybe even fear. Then she turned and walked out. The door clicked shut and I sank to the floor, the silence crashing over me. I cried. Not for her, but for the version of us I'd believed in. The apartment smelled like her perfume, a ghost that refused to leave. I opened my phone, scrolled through our old messages, and deleted everyone. Then I opened my laptop, typed an email to my lawyer. File for divorce. My hands shook, but my heart didn't. The next morning, the silence didn't hurt anymore. I made coffee, sat by the window, and watched the sunrise. For the first time in weeks, it looked beautiful. She'd called me replaceable. Maybe in her world I was where love is conditional and loyalty optional. But in mine, love still means something. A week later, the papers were filed. I signed them without hesitation, because sometimes losing someone isn't the worst thing. It's remembering your worth. Months passed before I saw her again, at the grocery store of all places. She froze when she saw me. "Mark," she said softly, "you look good." "Thanks," I replied. "You too," she hesitated. "Do you ever think about us?" I smiled faintly. "Sometimes. Mostly to remind myself how far I've come." She looked away, biting her lip. Maybe she finally understood what she'd thrown away. I walked past her, calm and unbroken. For the first time, there was no pain, just peace, because I was never replaceable.